Sean Patrick Bowley was nice enough to come on with us this morning after a long night last night with the Brookfield Masuk game. Sean, good morning. How you doing?
Hey guys, what's going on?
Nothing much. First of all, let me just ask you this one question. Masuk comes in number 5, Brookfield's unranked. Bit of a surprise there, or was there something in the air that made you think maybe Brookfield's got a shot to win this game?
Well, let's see. The only thing that really made me think that Brookfield had a shot to win the game was that they were 3-0 and they hadn't been beaten yet. In my position, you really don't want to take the chance that they will get beaten. So you're like, well, it's a good game. It's both 3-0. You always cover those undefeated matchups as much as possible. So they're a senior-dominated team, Brookfield, and you're just like, well, let's go and see what happens. And something happens, we're there, and if something doesn't happen, we're still there just in case. So, but I guess you could say it was pretty shocking. I think it was the most shocking result of the night.
And something you were mentioning, I know I was getting texts from you during the game, and Masuk had, I think, probably about a 15-point lead at one point going right into the third quarter. Was it composure? Was it just something they saw in the Masuk defense, or was it a combination of everything that helped them pull ahead?
It was a lot of different things. It wasn't a bad 15-point deficit they were behind. I mean, they came out, and Masuk's first-team defense, they hadn't given up a point all season long. Brookfield actually scored first and actually had a 9-3 lead early in the second quarter, and Masuk was only ahead 17-9 at halftime, and then 24-9 because of a couple of Brookfield turnovers and a kickoff return touchdown too. What happened was Brookfield was going to go in for a score to go ahead. It was 10-9. The quarterback threw an interception at the 5-yard line, and Masuk went right back and down and scored. And then at the beginning of the second half, Brookfield another interception led to a 34-yard touchdown pass. The next thing you know, it's like it was only because Brookfield made the mistakes. They were clearly the better team after that. I mean, if it wasn't for those mistakes, they probably would have just blown them out of the water. They were that good last night. And they just kept coming and coming and coming, and Masuk defense and Masuk offense, they just had no answer for them, that was probably the most shocking thing of all.
Now, Jordan Burandt, I believe that's pronunciation, the junior quarterback, 19 of 35, 349 yards and 4 touchdowns. One of the better performances you've seen this season, I'm sure. How would you assess his performance?
He was tremendous. The kid was just, when you talk about resiliency, the way he was just kind of able to put his mistakes behind him, I mean, his numbers were outstanding. And then he just keep plugging away. He had some really great receivers, first being Scott Benzing and number 3, who at least had 100 and it was deceptive. He had about 150 yards worth of receiving. And then he has the Trivett brothers, the twins, and a couple other good receivers who just made plays and got open for him all night long. Masuk kept blitzing. They kept blitzing. They just got open for him. Hucked the ball up there, and they would score on these wide-open, long touchdown passes. It was unbelievable. So it was more of a team effort. And, again, his numbers were outstanding. I saw a lot of quarterbacks have a lot of outstanding nights last night. Yeah, his team really made him work. Really worked for him.